projecting ourselves into the future, especially when done constantly, can be so detrimental to the impact and our ability to be effective in our present moment. When I'm living in my head and I am focused on the future, it takes away the attention that I'm giving to my present moment. It's creating an anxiety for my present moment, and it's rendering me less powerful in the life force that I could exude and that I could put out there to, in essence, have more effect on the future moment. I've come across this saying that I think I created, and not that that's what it's about, but I was just sitting in bed one night and I'm like, you know what? I'm finally getting to a place in life where I'm getting out of my head and I'm getting into the world. And a problem of mine feeling has been always feeling like I need to be more on it, more effective, more efficient, because of the fact that I'm getting a chance in the first place. And I've put so much pressure on myself to be spot on. And I'm realizing that that sort of pressure through my 20s created so much space for me to not do anything in the first place because I didn't have the strategy down, or I wasn't fully equipped, or at least to the extent that I thought I needed to be. And so then I would not move at all and no progress would be made, which would then render in decay versus growth. And so at 29 years old, I feel I'm finally, and this summer was an absolute example of this, you know, moving through a breakup and a transition in life to where the time freedom, I didn't have a commitment to somebody else. And so all I had to do was figure out what I was going to do with my time. And so this summer, joining run clubs, meeting a bunch of new friends, playing more pickleball, getting outside and not staying stuck in my own little bubble really displayed to me how powerful it is when we get out of our head and get into the world, where we create environments where we can't necessarily do so much thinking, and we've got to be in the moment and act accordingly or be accordingly ourselves in those moments. And I've found that when I project myself into the future and I begin to focus on the future, I take myself out of my current moments and I then create within me an anxiety that is not even real. It's useless to put myself in the situation of a future happening or circumstance because that has yet to occur. And even if it did occur, why would I put myself through that twice? And I realized that the future is heavily influenced by our actions and our thoughts and our perspectives that we have here in this moment. And I can be anxious about the future all that I want, But if I continue to take action, put in the work, have intentional days stacked one on top of the other, I found that although I may not know the results, and although I may have projected myself into the future with a formula of what if I did over 3 months, over 6 months, what that future might look like, that future is always so much better and so much more enjoyed when it comes based off or being the effect of a whole bunch of causes that I was intentional about that brought me to this moment. So this morning when I was having this conversation with, a daily visitor of the gym, and we always run into each other at the gym, she had said that there is no worry in getting ourselves caught up in what the future looks like, because there's always two sides of that coin anyways. We could be dreading the future. We can be dreading that upcoming sales meeting or that upcoming conversation that we're planning on having with a significant other. And we could be just totally negative, or we could be totally pessimistic about what may come from that. But then there's the side of like, well, what if it's everything and more, right? What if that's going to be the conversation, or what if that's going to be the meeting that changes your life? And so I think that it can be fun to play around in those like thought processes, and it can be fun, but it can be stressful and it can be full of anxiety. But I also think that it can be a waste of time. And as humans, as myself personally as a human, even though I'm like the most spontaneous person, and like just growing up and moving from place to place all throughout my life, and almost having just a nomad spirit at heart, so the unknown is something that I am used to and I don't really find uncomfortability with. It's crazy how as you grow up, you can lose that tendency, or you can grow out of that sort of dynamic that I think to me is pretty innate and is pretty just who I am and close to who I am. I think that the ability to have flexibility in the outcomes of life is so important, as much as it is important that with the days that we get, the moments in our days that we get, we find ourselves being very intentional and grounded in, this is where all the magic happens. This is where if we do 1% better in these fields of our life, or in these aspects of our life that we deem important, this is where the magic happens, and this is where we can take care of the future to an extent, right? We're only humans. There's something so much greater than us at play, but we do have a job here to do, and it's in these moments, these day-to-days, the moments that we are awake from 7 a.m. to 10, 12 a.m., whatever it is. That is where God puts power in us. He puts this energy, he puts this life into us to do our part, right? Because having faith isn't just about believing that the future is going to work out for itself. It's twofold. Having faith is taking the action that we know that the future is going to work out, and God's got that taken care of for us. There's a reason why he is waking us up. But there is a part that we get to play, right? And that's why he is giving us life. That's why he has given us all the mechanisms for our body to work without us having to think twice about it, so we can focus on creating the life that we feel called to have, creating the life that the universe, God, whatever it may be that you believe has for us. To have full faith, we must believe in the things that are unseen, maybe heard, maybe seen in the mind's eye, maybe felt. But we must have faith in the things unseen, but we must have faith, and we must show faith through the actions that we take. And I don't know the Bible verse off of the top of my head, but it speaks on this, even to an extent as well, about living in this day and letting tomorrow's battles be tomorrow's battles, but fighting today's battles with all of the force and all of the might that we possibly can. Because today is the only day that we have. And living in the future, projecting ourselves into the future, will do nothing for us that actually creates that future. The only thing that we can do to create that future is be here, take advantage of the moments, take advantage of the opportunities that we get here today. And so stacking those 1%, being intentional about the environments that we are exposing ourselves to. Also understanding that when we're being intentional with the environments that we're exposing ourselves to and allowing just our intuition to guide us into these environments and into these situations, understanding that we find ourselves in those environments, in those situations for good reason, because there's an infinite amount of places and of people and of situations that we can find ourselves exposed to. But the fact that with all things considered, we are finding ourselves right here, right now, wherever that may be throughout the day, don't take those experiences lightly, and know that, that relationship with that older gentleman maybe at the checkout stand is an invitation for you to engage with life and gather information from life to help you. And even if that helping you is by helping another person, that's going to make you feel good. That's going to help you to understand that when you talk out loud, that your words have magnitude. You have the ability to affect somebody with what you say. And then we can begin to domino effect that. Maybe that's the precursor for starting up a YouTube channel, or starting up a men's group, or speaking up in school, sharing your voice, sharing what is inside your head, because what you have to offer is what the world needs. I'm cooking in this sun. I am cooking in the sun. So, I just wanted to lay this out there as a reminder to myself, and hopefully it resonates with someone that has been struggling with how the future may play out, or hasn't taken a step in a specific direction because they don't have a full picture on what it might look like. I promise you that that's not for us to have a clear vision on. But when you feel that, and when you feel like you are supposed to be moving in a specific direction, follow that and take advantage of the days that you wake. Take advantage of the days God wakes you up, especially healthy, especially with functional limbs, with a working mind, with a roof over your head, with food in the refrigerator. Don't take that lightly, and take advantage of it, and know that the future will take care of itself. And as long as we're putting in intentional actions into life, it's going to work out for us. So, man, that's all I got for you guys today. I am waiting on my writing numbers for my carriers that I'm going to be working with as I enter into the next phase of my professional career, which is being an independent life insurance producer, and I'm just really excited to get started. I'm excited to venture into this new space and, see how I'm going to be able to help more people by putting them into positions to be properly prepared for the inevitable. So that's all I got for you guys. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful fall day, and I'm just so thankful for life and so thankful for where things are at and where things are going. And I feel that God's right next to me on this journey, and that honestly, I'm just taking a seat right next to him as he drives this ship, as he drives this car, and we head down the highway. And I'm excited for where things are going to go. And however, I feel him call me, I'm going to just make sure that I put in the most work that I possibly can to respect what he has for me, what he's calling me to do, and, help this journey go as smooth and as, you know, hassle free, because God knows how stubborn I've been in this 29 years of life, but I finally feel like I'm figuring it out. I'm laying myself down in my will aside to what he has for me, and I feel the magnitude of what he has in store for me and what he has in store for this channel and for my career in life insurance is just, it's beyond what I can comprehend. And as long as I take care of my 1% right here, right now in these moments, it's all going to be good. So, man, I love y'all, and I thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.